Hi, it's Jane. Oh boy. Talk about an interesting week. Our things that are going on in this world today just seem like crazy. The whole thing with the Zelensky and President Trump and the big blow up and all that nonsense, and then you have all the people on the left protesting this weekend, and I'm like, don't say you're for Ukraine. If you were for Ukraine, you would start a GoFundMe for them and start actually sending money over to them, but you're not. So, and yes, for the record, I am for the people, but I don't think you understand what the people are wanting. Go out and search some of the interviews that some of these journalists have done with the soldiers that are on the front line. They're tired. They want peace. And it doesn't seem like their current president wants that. So, and then, you want to claim that Trump is a dictator. Nothing like Zelensky. Check out some of the things he's done. But regardless, all right. Let me show you where I'm at in the sleeve process. And that is where's my progress keeper? Progress keeper is way down here. Gotten that much done since we've been, chatting during the week. So I'm thrilled about that. Well, some of it's chat. Some of it has been, I've been doing a little bit here and there in the evening when I can. Doesn't always work out, but anyway, sleeves are coming along fairly nicely on my sweater. The other work in progress that I have is I am working on another one of those Cuddle Buddies that is in purple and yellow. Eastery colors, I suppose. But this little fella, I chose to do some of the striping along with it and that kind of thing, just to see how it would come along and what it would look like in the end. I also chose to go down a hook size. This pattern calls for using an eye hook, and the eye hook, I think, was too big. The other thing is, I realized with this other one, and I'll show you it, the completed one in a minute, that I had been using the way I normally crochet, which is yarn over, instead of doing the yarn under, which is a better stitch for amigurumi. So I've switched over to that yarn under. Slowed the progress down a little bit, but there we are. Have a couple more stripes to go. I think one more round of this in the purple, one more round of the yellow, and then I finish off with the purple and stuff the body. So I think the body will be a little bit more appropriate size, and I'll kind of explain that in a moment. So that's where I'm at with that. This is the fellow finished, little bear. And I had already talked about that I had stuffed him too much, but as you can see, the stitches are pretty loose, and that's that yarn over instead of the yarn under. And but he is finished, and what I did is we had a couple of extra boxes from the Operation Christmas Child, so I wanted to see how they fit into it. And I'm going to remove some of this stuff out of it because I'll tell you what I've also received. So we had checked it out about the size, and we determined it's a pretty good size. Maybe something smaller, although this might be considered the wow gift that you put in the box. So, But the other thing, and I'll show you what I had in the box before that, I received a bag of, and these were embroidery hoops that were donated to a friend. She found them in her storage area and asked if I wanted them. And I had made a comment about I'd seen a video where people had taken these embroidery hoops, had added bells to them, added fabric, put them back in together, and made sort of like a tambourine for the kids to play with. So the main thing was, are they going to fit in the box? And they do fit in the box, so that is something I'm doing with a bunch of the those embroidery hoops. And now I do glue it down so that it doesn't come apart, trim it very well. So hopefully that will be a great tool, toy for the kiddos, that kind of thing. But yeah, that was the other thing that I had worked on. Nothing else other than cutting fabric for some of those bags that I'm doing, the tote bags with the drawstring on the top, and as well as I made a couple of what I call Bible bags that are divided bags and have pockets and things like that. And of course, I had a couple people found out I was doing that. So I've already sold the ones that I've made. So I'm cutting more for those. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. Now, I thought I would show you some of the things I picked up for the Operation Christmas Child bags. I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, filming this on Sunday, and they had their fabric still on sale for 40% off. So I picked up some fabric, a couple of other things, and walking through the store. And I always go check out the clearance items. And well, in the clearance items, they had this little guy, $1.24. I figured, yeah, that's a pretty good price, so I picked it up. And then they had their summer things on sale, and these are some emoticon bouncy balls, so I picked up some of those. Those are always great to throw into the box. But as you know, I've been checking over at Goodwill for some of the for a friend of mine's mug that was donated. So while I was there, I found this bag. A lot of these are just small bows. And I have quite a bit of, let's see if I can get it open without ripping it too much. And this was one of those things in the bin that was like 99 cents, but it was 50% off. So I picked up a couple of those things. And they are actually just little headbands. They've already been made, the majority of them. So those will be a couple of great things to add in for the younger children, younger girls. There's a little teeny tiny headband, the little bitty bow. That's cute. And there's, this whole bag is just full of them. So I originally had thought that it was just a bag of bows. Then I got to looking at it and realized there are elastic that are added on to it. So those will be added in to some of the bags for that kind of thing. And yeah, that's kind of it, what I've been doing. I've had a couple of days where I've not felt really well. So I've done a lot of sleeping this week, which is fine, I did have someone that made a comment about, it was on one of the Tarnation crochet videos, and she had made a comment about she'd like to see knitting and doing some of the knitting stitches. And I never really thought about doing knitting videos like that, so maybe I'll do that in the future. I'll think about it. Because after all, it does take quite a bit to film some of these tutorials, even those small short ones that I do. So yeah, and like I said, I can do left-handed, right-handed. I don't always, because with the technology we have today, you can obviously flip it to where it's left-handed, that kind of thing. And a lot of us that do tutorials do that because it's a whole lot easier than having to do one video right-handed and then another left-handed. But yeah, I can do it, but I don't practice it enough left-handed. And of course, my left-handed is way tighter tension than my right-handed. So there's that. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm going to give you a couple of shout outs and then we'll get into what in Tarnation. This channel is craft like nobody's watching. There is always something creating something in the craft room or kitchen, and this is their place for doing that. They do videos every couple of weeks and a lot of shorts and community posts, so check that out. Never did get a first name. I think it's, if I remember correctly, husband or wife. Don't quote me on that. The next one is Craft Artisaurus. Craft Artisaurus. This is Paula, who does arts and crafts. She hopes that you will join her for all of her craft projects, and she has quite a few, so check her out. Then there's What's Up Cupcake. This is Christine. She does crochet, craft market insights, journaling, and general crafting, and videos of her former Irish and Scottish dance days. That's a lot of fun to watch. Then there is Crochet Vlog. Not Crochet Vlog, sorry. Skip that, forget it. The next channel is Crazy Cheap Chick. This is Bright Bridge Farm, homestead of Crazy Cheap Chick. Her channel contains information on cooking, homesteading, gardening, extreme grocery budget meals, cheap family meals, groceries on a limited budget, frugal meal planning, ideas to stretch your food budget, economical grocery ideas. You get it, the whole 9 yards. Ways to beat inflation and that kind of stuff. Healthy and plant-based meals on limited funds, you name it. She has all kinds of things, as well as stretching your dollars for your household expenses while living paycheck to paycheck, thrift store finds, and thrifting. And I enjoy the channel. I just like watching some of those things. The next channel is Rochelle Handmade Designs. This channel has step-by-step, easy-to-follow tutorials using commercial sewing patterns, drafting, and hacking patterns to achieve different looks. Now, in the past, she has showcased fabric hauls, pattern hauls, weekly pattern sales, like from Joann's. Of course, we all know that's going to be stopping. Simplicity, Vicky Sews, and others that she sees fit. And for those of you who don't sew, there is a vast majority of digital sewing patterns that are available. And many times with those digital patterns, you have to go to a company that will print them out. And most people have staples. I don't know if Best Buy does it anymore. Not Best Buy. Office Depot still does it. But Staples sometimes is a place that I use. I also use a company that their fame is creating architect plans, printing those out, as well as bridge plans, those kind of things. I use this fellow because he has some great prices, and I got that from Sodane. And I think printing out a digital pattern for my size, multi-sized, that's usually what I choose is multi-sized. Maybe runs about $15 for 2 to 3 patterns. So it's not too bad, and there are ways to get those printed out. Staples will print them out for you on the large, huge sheets of paper that you can then use as a pattern. So you don't have to take and print it out on your computer and then tape them together. But there are a lot of digital patterns that are out there and that are available. So yeah, that's an idea. Then there is Elder Gal. This is Elder Gal, aka Allison. She has a master's degree in counseling and psychology and worked for several years as a bereavement counselor and traditional counselor. She earned a second master's degree in cultural anthropology and taught both of those for years at a community college level for about 13 years. She does a lot of interesting things. She talks about living as an elder, some of the things that come across. Right now, what I saw was that she is moving out of the country, giving up her apartment as a senior, moving out of the country to do some of the things that are on her bucket list in Europe, those kind of things. And she's going to take us along on that. And basically, she kind of put it in, she's given up her home, as in she is homeless now. And that's how I found her, was that video. And it's very interesting, some of the different things that she talks about. Then there is Diary of a Nerdy Crocheter, Crocheting and Crochet Stories. It's Crystal of Pago Day. It's her other channel. So you might want to check that out and see what she's up to, that kind of stuff. So, I found it. I was looking at it and I was like, is this someone who's created a channel using AI to do some videos that Crystal has done in the past? And I did not find that. I believe it is actually a second channel for Crystal to share just crocheting and different crochet stories. A little different than tutorials and those kind of things that she normally does on her, Bag a Day channel. Then there is Loopy Loop UK. I did not get her first name, but that's okay. May have been in one of the earlier podcasts, and I just didn't watch enough of them to see. She does knitting and crochet. She talks about the things she's made, yarn, needles, etc., items that she buys and other crafts she makes, things that she'll put on her channel, and the charities that she supports, which is Northeast Air Ambulance. She is in the UK, but she has quite an interesting channel. Now, I am going to put the links down below in the description, but I noticed a couple times that I have put the links for What in Tarnation and then the links for the channels. The links for the channels aren't showing up, even though I save them that way. So I will also put these links up on the community page as well, so at least you can see them, go look for them, that kind of thing. And I think that's it. So now we're ready for a little What in Tarnation. So let me pull that up. And sometimes you just have to wonder about the stories that come along. There are times that I look at them and I go, really? That's kind of crazy. But they're fun. They always seem to be pretty fun. I've got to go back into my documents to find it, so I think that's it. Nope, that's not it. Well, I should have had these pulled up beforehand, but I did not. My bad, and I do apologize for that. There we go. Boy, I need to delete some of these. All right, the first one, and it's an awful cute little park. Japanese park covering just 2.5 square feet is officially world's smallest. A park in Nagasumi, Japan, has been officially named the world's smallest park, covering an area of just 2.5 square feet. The park near Nagasumi Town Hall, about an hour's drive from Tokyo, was created in 1988 after a worker at the Construction Management Division of the Nagasumi town returned from a trip to the United States. The worker had encountered Millens Park in Portland, Oregon, which previously held the record at 3.1 square feet. And I didn't know about that park either. So they wanted to create an even smaller park. Shuji Koyama, a team leader at the Construction Management Division, told Guinness World Records. The park was completed in 1988, but the city didn't bring in Guinness World Records adjudicator to officially measure it until December. The Nagasumi Park has now been certified as the smallest in the world. We want to continue maintaining the park with the community, as well as creating a landscape that is more social media friendly, so that even more people will find attractions of our town, Koyama said. And it's a cute park. And I can see several of them cropping up all over the world, which would be tourist sites. You know, if you do one park here, park another couple of feet from you, that kind of stuff. Wouldn't that be fun to see? And I had a friend who sent me video from Japan. Japan's on my bucket list, folks. But this, and you know I love cats, but this is the day before the emperor's birthday. There is a day that is dedicated to cats in Japan. And there are festivals, there are parades, you know, all kinds of fun stuff around cats. And then, of course, throughout the whole city, you can find snacks that are created in the cat feature characteristics. So, and of course, I've always wanted to go to a cat cafe there in Japan because I find them interesting. The way that they do those kind of things. So, yeah, you know, looking for a girls' trip one of these times to go to Japan. Maybe I'll find more on that story for something later. Next story, Massachusetts police, and I always have trouble with that, the name of that state. Police determined reported bear was most likely raccoon. Now, the video that's on the news article sure looks like a bear. So, but whatever. A Massachusetts police department said a reported bear sighting in the city was most likely something else entirely, a raccoon. Avon Police Deputy Chief Chris Bartolotta said the department received a report of a bear sighting in the city on Saturday, but animal control officers were unable to confirm the report. Officers patrolling in the same area on Monday encountered another resident who offered an explanation for the sighting. Another individual in the area said it wasn't a bear, it was a raccoon. And they told the Enterprise newspaper. The person posted something on Facebook of prints, and allegedly they were too small to be a bear. Now, I could not find the Facebook post. The post is to the Enterprise, so news story, which has a video of a bear. Bartolotta said the mistaken identity is understandable, considering the sighting occurred after dark and bears have been spotted in Avon in the past. The Avon Police Department reminded residents on Facebook that while there might not have been a bear in town during the weekend, there remains a possibility of animals visiting local neighborhoods in the near future. There's been an uptick in the number of bear sightings, both locally and in our part of the state. While not totally unique to our area, black bears have been increasing in numbers and distribution since 1970s. No global warming. The statewide population of bears is estimated to be over 4,500 animals and growing and expanding eastward. Now this I thought was rather interesting, and there are two videos of this. One, I think, is the Instagram or TikTok video of the gal that does food reviews all the time anyway. But the other one was, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel had purchased 2 strawberries for him and one of his guests. So there's 2 videos to watch with this one. Single strawberry raises controversy over $19 price tag. A piece of pricey produce is causing controversy on social media after an influencer posted a TikTok video where she taste tested a single strawberry with a $19 price tag. The strawberry, which comes from company llama and is sold at Los Angeles area luxury grocery chain Erewhon, carries a $19 price for the single fruit. The big budget berry became the source of online discourse when influencer Alyssa and Toshi, whose aunt and uncle own the grocery chain, posted a video to TikTok. Okay, this is a $19 strawberry from Erewhon, so we're going to eat it. And Toshi says in the video, apparently it's like the best tasting strawberry in the entire world. The influencer declares the snack to actually be the best strawberry I've ever had in my life. The video quickly racked up millions of views and garnered multiple comments and response videos from fellow influencers describing the $19 strawberry as dystopian and a new low and potential social experiment to see what some people will spend on. The controversy even led late-night host Jimmy Kimmel and guest Mindy Kaling to sample the strawberries on Wednesday night's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. And Toshi said she was surprised by the response to her video. Honestly, I wasn't even going to post the video in the first place, she told Today.com. I had no idea it would have the reach that it did. Representatives from llama and Erewhon explained the strawberry's price tag is a result of the fruit originating from Japan's Tochigi Prefecture, which is sometimes called the Strawberry Kingdom due to its signature export. Strawberries are picked at their prime and hits the shelves at Erewhon within 24 to 48 hours, which I'm sure is part of that price tag and getting it there that quickly. An Erewhon representative told Today.com, faster than broccoli growing in California, getting to the markets in New York. An llama spokesperson added the strawberries have a very short shelf life. He thinks logistics-wise, getting it here and being able to try it fresh from Japan, it's very understandable why the price is what it is, the spokesperson said. Don't hate on it until you try it. And having said that about the dystopian and about the things that people would do, you do know that there was an experiment done with humans, with students at one point, researchers, where they were given, there were 3 people in this study, and they gave students who didn't realize the person that was wired up to a shock device was not actually wired up to the shock device. The person that was handling the questions, and if the person that was getting shocked answered wrong, the person who they were experimenting on to see what they would do, how far they would go, would shock the other person. So in this experiment, what they found is nearly 100% of the participants who thought they were shocking Nearly 100% of the people who were actually holding the instrument to shock the other person took it to the point of 400 joules, which would kill the person that was being shocked. That in itself is a scary experiment. When you think that you won't do something like that, but you're on the end of it and you would go that far to give a shock large enough to kill a person, stop their heart, that's scary. So yeah, things happen around our world that we don't always are aware of that we probably should be aware of. All right, next story. Truck hauling load of curly fries catches fire on Maine highway. Not the curly fries. No one was injured, but many potatoes were lost when a tractor trailer hauling a load of curly fries caught fire on a Maine highway. We all know who sells curly fries. As far as I know, there are two companies. The York Fire Department responded alongside Kittery fire crews when more than 30 calls came in to 911 reporting a truck on fire on southbound Interstate 95. It was quickly determined the cargo was frozen curly French fries and not a hazardous material. Thank goodness. Firefighters used up 6,000 gallons of water to extinguish the flames, but the tractor trailer and its spud snack cargo were a total loss. And of course, there were no injuries from the fire. And this llama, and it's an adorable llama. Thomas and I visited this one time to see the llama for another reason. 27-year-old llama certified as oldest in the world. A North Carolina llama was officially declared the oldest in the world at the age of 27 years and 250 days old. White Top the llama, who has lived since 2006 at the Victory Junction Camp for Children with Serious Illnesses and Chronic Medical Conditions in Randleman, was officially named the oldest living llama in captivity and oldest llama in captivity ever by the Guinness World Records. He is so good with our campers that as soon as our camp days start, he just lays down and he doesn't get up until lunch. He'll just lay there and let the kids run up to him and love on him. Billy Joe Davis, the barn director of Victory Junction, told Guinness World Records, he treats it like a job. It is his job. White Top spends his days surrounded by children at the year-round camp, as well as 9 horses, 2 goats, 2 rabbits, 2 miniature donkeys, and a miniature Highland cow. The cow named Gus Gus is White Top's closest companion. Because they've played so much together, Gus Gus thinks White Top is a cow. Davis said, he likes to try to jump on him and play with him, and we're like, no, he's old, leave him alone. But White Top is just too sweet with them. And Thomas and I had gone to donate some items that I'd made for the kids, so that's why we were there that day. Now this next video is absolutely amazing to see. I've been to Red River for skiing, so it brought back a lot of memories seeing that ski slope. Skiers near miss with deer caught on camera at New Mexico resort. A ski patrol member going down a slope at New Mexico resort had a near miss with a deer that nearly ran him over, and the moment was caught on camera. A viral video posted to Facebook by Cimarron Douglas shows ski patrol member Kyle Bailey going down a Red River ski resort slope, known as the Face. There's a deer. Oh my God! A person can be heard yelling as a deer indeed dashes across the slope and nearly collides with the skier, who is able to narrowly evade disaster. I'm certainly grateful that both the deer and I could walk away unscathed, Bailey wrote in a comment under the video. And that is your what in Tarnation? All right, let's get into the devotional as soon as I can find it. Have it over here in the side here. All right. Surprised by hope. Oh yeah, I'm going to need my reading glasses. Some days are better than others. And since I've had that floater in this eye that hasn't been absorbed yet, really makes the need for reading glasses more important. Surprised by hope. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place. That's Luke 24:21. When your hopes are disappointed, you may feel that God has betrayed your trust. You can be assured, though, that he is writing a story of hope in your life more profound and beautiful than you can imagine. After Jesus died, some of his followers also felt betrayed by their hope. And they give you a reference for Luke 24:13-32. They were so convinced they had misplaced their trust that they didn't recognize Jesus when he approached them. Though through blurred human vision, they didn't see that what they had hoped for had actually come to pass. The resurrected Redeemer of Israel had answered their hope with more than they had dared to expect. He had killed death, and the redemption was eternal. Jesus walked alongside them undeterred by their hopelessness, patiently explaining how Scripture pointed to him until their hearts burned with the truth. He does the same with you. When your hopes are disappointed and you question his goodness, he walks alongside you, patiently teaching you the truth. You can trust that just as he opened the eyes of his despairing followers, he will one day open your eyes to the full glory of his work in your life and the ways he has answered your vulnerable hope. And I always, when I see, verses about hope, I always go to Jeremiah 29:11. Look it up. Where does God want to surprise me with hope? Possibly with something I think is dead. That's the reflect. Pray. Father God, just as you opened the eyes of the men on the road to Emmaus, open my eyes to the reality of Jesus' love, his compassion, and the absolute goodness of his character. Heal my heart, where I feel I have been betrayed by misplaced hope, and help me lay hold of the truth that my hope in you will never disappoint. Declare. God has joyful surprises prepared for me. Act. In some way, take a step of faith today toward an area in which you need hope. And boy, isn't that sometimes hard to do. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I got a little off topic on the beginning with the whole Zelensky thing, but I have friends that are in Ukraine, and I know some of the things that they have talked about and some of the things that have been horrifying. Having military people snatch lone men out of their homes or in the street when they're walking to force them to fight is crazy to me. But, plus the fact that, when we were sending all those clothes and all that money over to give and medical supplies, they were being sold in the markets. Yeah, they were being sold in the markets. People never received them. So there's a lot of corruption in Ukraine. And I just feel for the people who want this war to end. Period. Not on the side of Putin, not on the side of Zelensky, but think the Ukraine people are just tired. And of course, if it weren't for the U.S. meddling in their affairs in 2014, this may never have happened. So, there's it. All right, guys, have a great week. Remember, do something kind today and act on this one. All right, see you soon. Bye.